What if I told you that being selfish is actually the best thing that you can do for yourself and for the people in your life? I think from a young age, a lot of us learn that being selfish isn't a good thing. And I don't mean like, the egoistic, negative, selfish, but like really just putting yourself first, prioritizing yourself, maybe even over others. We grew up in a world where self sacrifice is actually often praised, right? So a lot of people suffer from people pleasing. We want to be seen as good persons, and it's the most normal thing, I think. But that can lead us to people please, and people pleasing is not like the most qualitative or most productive form to be there for someone. Actually, sometimes we have to put our own needs aside to people please. And where does this leave us? And does it really help the other person? Because I believe that if you're drained and if you are disconnected from yourself and if you are not mastering taking care of yourself, it's really hard to be there for other people in a truly meaningful way and in a way that actually has a positive impact. We sometimes really should prioritize ourselves and put ourselves first so we can serve the people in our lives better and we can show up in this world better. And so many of us feel guilty about choosing themselves, maybe like choosing themselves on a daily basis, when in reality, it's the best thing that you can do for everyone around you. I truly think that we can learn so much from people who really stick to their goals and who really put themselves first and also practice self care. People who really choose to love themselves and to nurture this relationship that they have with themselves. Because in the end, the relationship that you have with yourself is the most important relationship you will ever have in your whole life. And I know this sounds really cliche, but it's so true because if you can't be there for yourself, how will you ever be able to be there for someone else? Like, see self love and self care as a necessary rather than just like an option if we have some time left, but to really make it a priority in our lives. I think that that should be the standard that everyone should thrive for. And it is also a choice. We can consciously choose to take care of ourselves. And there are so many different ways that you can integrate this into your day to day life. And I don't mean the ways that the advertisement industry is going to try to sell to us. You don't need a luxury spa weekend where you have to spend a lot of money or, the most expensive massage or the newest skincare products. That's not what you need. Like, you can get real good self care for free. Like, that kind of self care that is nourishing your soul and that is making you happy and making you present. And for many people, this can look like meditating, but there are so many different other ways, even if it's just like breath work or journaling or going into nature. Maybe for you, it's also to have a good amount of sleep. Like, there are so many different ways to take care of yourself, but to practice those things on a daily basis and to maybe say no to appointments or to meetings with friends for yourself. This goes back into this thought that everything you do for yourself flows right into your relationship with yourself, and to treat yourself like someone you really love, like you would treat a good friend or your partner or family member. And this can be nurturing your mind, your body, your soul. And this can also actually change how you show up in life, how you perceive life, and how you experience life around you. Speaking about relationships, I think what we often can see is when in a relationship, one partner is really frustrated with their own lives. They feel stressed. They don't really take care of themselves. Maybe they don't do any sports anymore. They don't move their bodies. They're not eating well. There's just no time for themselves. And they really lack solitude, maybe like being alone, being on their own. They can become very dependent on this external validation because they are seeking this care and this love from a different source externally. And most of the times it's their partner. And I don't want to say that it's not normal to be there for each other in a relationship. Like, yeah, sometimes you have times where you just don't feel like yourself and you need someone to support you. And therefore, we have connections and relationships, and that's the beauty about it, right? But at the same time, I do believe that we should do the most we can to first take care of ourselves, to also be a better partner ourselves, and to not be in crisis of frustration, and to not like depend on someone else for our own happiness and fulfillment, and to also not put our own frustration on someone else, because it can go into different directions, right? Some people may tend to become more clingy or really want a lot from the partner, yeah, and seek this external love and validation because their own cup just isn't full. And some other people may get snappy or like, pick fights. There are different ways this can show. I think the best that you can do for your partner in a loving relationship, for example, is to really practice to give yourself this feeling that you are seeking. And by putting yourself first, you can not only be a better partner, you can also be a better daughter, a better friend, a better colleague, maybe, because you're not acting out of a place of lack, but you're actually acting out of a place of overflow, of like this energy of giving, this energy that you put into yourself first and that you can then let out into the world around you. So, when being a little bit selfish and taking care of yourself, it's not only you who benefits from it, but you actually can give so much more out to the world. And you don't just elevate your own life, you actually also uplift everyone around you. And those people who already are doing this, who sometimes maybe also get into this deep focus and this tunnel vision about what they want out of their lives and about taking care of their own well beings, I think they are doing it so right because they're doing everyone around them a favor by being there for themselves and by deepening the connection that they have with themselves and by really like deeply knowing themselves as well. And you do no one a favor if you're constantly neglecting yourself and putting your needs aside. And you're not a better person if you people please. The best thing you can actually do is start today by asking yourself, okay, what can I do to make myself feel better today? What do I want today? What is a need that I can maybe fulfill by a little practice? Like asking ourselves those questions and showing up for ourselves, it's also a gift that we are able to do this, and it will not only expand our own lives, but it will also expand the lives of our loved ones. But yeah, I think we should all learn how to really take care of ourselves to be able to act out of love. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any thoughts on this, you can leave them in the comments below. I'm really curious what you think about this topic. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.